Good morning, everyone. Sorry I haven't been with you here in the last week. This is a hell week for me. There's just so much going on in all levels and everything. But I hear all of you out there, and it sure is an extreme pleasure to always spend time with you. And hopefully I'll meet a lot of you new faces coming up in class here in October. And so, or September, September, October. I don't know. I just kind of go where they tell me to go. But anyway, it's a real pleasure to spend time with you. I hope all of you are getting your remedy at least a little bit. And so you just want to keep working always. You know, when you know truth, you just keep pushing ahead because you'll be tested all the time. And if you look around now, boy, these two forces are clamoring at each other right now. So always stay open, love, positive, no matter what hits you here, because it doesn't matter. Let all those energies go back to those that send out negative things to you. Get your own joy. This is the time for you right now in this universe and in this particular event syndrome. It's time for you to get into yourself and to let everything go. If you notice things are just coming down and coming down, you just have to let them go because it just doesn't matter. The only thing that really matters is you, your consciousness, your survival with any drama. And the more aware you become, the happier you are, the more free you are, and you can enjoy your events better. You know, you had more fun when you were kids because you didn't care about the outcome of things. Now, with survival as a struggle on the planet, governments have just literally made survival for its inhabitants. Look at all the governments and what they've done. Just alone the World Bank and what it's done to the survival of the inhabitants and its plans and all this. I mean, it's just all just irky. But, you know, it's all in the drama at this level, in this particular period of what they call time, I guess. And so, time for you to awaken, enjoy your lives, and get your bodies healthy. You young people are the future on this area of consciousness. However you wish to look at that, the level of creation. The young souls coming in here, they're coming into these sick bodies, and so many of you young guys and gals are really hurting out there. And I'm just, you know, my heart goes out to each and every one of you. And as a society, we need to awaken to genetics and how we can change that, you know, just as the art of creation is. But you just can't even care sometimes about that. And that's another point, is sometimes in your health you've got to step back a little bit. You know, one of the things that happened to me was too much body consciousness. I just started feeling every little ache and pain and oh, what's this? And oh, is this cancer over here? And what's this? You know, because when you start detoxifying, all your weaknesses start coming out. You know? Remember that the 4 stages of dis-ease, or the 4 stages of life to death: acute, subacute, chronic, and degenerative. Very important to remember those 4 stages, in the sense that, and I think I told you the story where I was craving a malt. And I was craving it for weeks, and I said, well, I'll go get me a malt then. And I went into the mall here. This has been probably 10 years ago, 15 maybe even 20. But I went up to a little ice cream place in the mall, and I said, do you make baby malts? You know, little malts for babies or kids? And the guy looked at me kind of strange. He said, well, yeah. And I said, well, I want one, just a little bitty one. Well, the time I walked out to my truck, and I did talk about this on a video once, I had a sore throat. And I knew I'd created that with the mucus, because milk proteins are the most mucus-forming proteins on the planet. The body strictly does not like dairy products, especially from other species. Especially after age 2. But feeding babies milky products is nothing worse than clogging their lymphatic systems, no question about it. So I knew I'd done that, and I knew it was from the milk. I knew I paid the price. So I went home, ate an apple, and about 20 minutes or so, I chalked up a great big huge wad of mucus, and the sore throat was gone. Had I not known that, and I had thought, oh, I caught something in the mall, I would have then went to a medical doctor or something, got an antibiotic to suppress what I just created. You know, and I created an acute scenario. Right then, the mucus, so much mucus caused swelling and pain of my voice box and my esophagus and throat. So all I did then was detox that mucus that I created out of there, and I was good. Had I suppressed that, and every time I created an acute scenario with acidosis or the types of foods that I'm eating, I would move that subacute stage into subacute, or that acute stage into subacute. Subacute generally means that you have no idea that you have any problem anymore. You don't feel any problems there. You might get a little hyperactivity out of that, or a little hypoactivity out of subacute stages. Definitely possible, can go either way. Or you can have a syndrome where things are bradytachy in heart, like heart slows down, speeds up, slows down, speeds up. Any of these type of syndromes where you're hot one minute and cold the next minute. You know, all these are all stimulations to the endocrine glands, and this is all generally acidosis and mucus that does that. However, as a complete suppression of these earlier stages eventually creates chronic levels. And most of you guys have a lot of chronic problems. And that's the problem. You could treat, years ago with pharmaceuticals, you could treat acute problems. Oh, cold and flu, kill the bacteria that caused it, right? The biggest lie ever perpetrated by the AMA. And then suppress that stage. Well, people thought these were wonder drugs. They suppressed all these symptoms. Everybody's doing well. That was the problem. It suppressed these symptoms, pushing these stages deeper in toward the chronic levels. Now you notice pharmaceuticals don't work. No, and the ones that do cause death or something close, destroys tissue. Things like this. Most pharmaceuticals are acids. And so when you see these things, just like the meningitis, fungal meningitis, right? Bull crap. That was acetylacetate that was put right into the spinal column. I mean, the spinal fluid, this is the insanity of that sort of thing. So at the chronic levels, the AMA are way off of their game. They have no clue. They don't know how to deal with chronic problems. Can't treat chronic problems, guys. You've got to go back and rework them. And of course, the last stage is where you see the mutation of the cell, the atypical cells moving toward cancer cells. And these are damaged cells from the acids that you're not getting out of your bodies. So when you start detoxifying, you start going back through these stages. You're going to go from chronic to subacute to acute. When you hit acute, you're going to be aware of it again. You're going to be aware of that. Even if it's a genetic pass, you're still going to be aware of that acute consciousness in that respective area, whether it's a hip, whether it's a knee, whether it's a shoulder, or whatever, or a combination of several places. That's why in detox, you see pain here one day, discomfort in the leg the next day, this problem, that problem. It's simply that you're reworking yourself back out of these four stages: acute, subacute, chronic, and then, of course, degenerative. Iridology teaches it. Any good science is going to teach these stages of processes that the body goes through toward death. And our job is to reverse. Wherever you are on that wheel, you're going to reverse that. And you can reverse it. Even in the degenerative stages, you can reverse these issues. The further you take someone down into the degenerative areas, what chemo and radiation and these levels push you deeper toward these degenerative areas, you're putting yourself in Hellville, not toward Wellville at all. And so the more you live in Hellville, the harder and the longer it takes to get to Wellville. So that's the sort of thing that you have to remember in what you're doing. So don't get frustrated. Some of you are actually born in here with lots of chronic problems. Some almost on the line of degenerative. And this is very true in adrenal glands. Look at the eye pictures. We're going to get into these eyes, I promise. But I tell you, we got a whole bunch of people off on vacation. So it's just slowed everything way down. So I deeply, deeply, humbly apologize for that. We will get that to you. So, see, we're up against these sort of things. The nice thing is you guys are all knowledging up. You know what's up. You're learning how to take yourselves back through these stages. Matter of fact, it's such a pleasure to communicate with each and every one of you guys. You are knowledged up, you're learning. Heck, you're learning about pituitaries, parathyroids. You guys are getting it down so well. Medical doctors are a little frustrated talking to you guys because you know what's up. You know how to get remedy. And even though some of you are struggling, don't give up. Some symptoms hang around, like if you have acne and some of these deeper subcutaneous level saturation and stagnation of the lymph. Just give yourself some time to back up, because there is no quick fix. There's no taking you from chronic and degenerative to out of the acute stages like that. There's no such thing. This is why the huge difference between what you guys are experiencing and what you're seeing and these treatment-based thinkers. That's why you have so many different things. Well, what about taking this supplement or that supplement or this supplement? Those people that think like that can never find remedy, because you guys know what's up. And you know the focus and the hard work it takes to get well, but it is far worth it, because your spirituality grows at the same time. And whether you're concerned about that or not, most should be, because spirituality is you. It's how you see people. It's your humility. It's your love. It's your joy. It's how we see each other as a one species, along with all the other species. And we don't have to kill each other to get along. You know, there has to be a higher resonance, a higher renaissance of consciousness now. You can't just keep down. So this planet has to expand, and those people that are holding on are going to be blown apart. And you're seeing that. You're seeing truth coming out everywhere, sprouting like a field of corn. So just remember those 4 stages, and you're working yourself back through those. Also with those 4 stages, remember the 4 things that your body has to do: digestion, absorption, utilization, endocrine glands, hormones and steroids, and then elimination, not just of digestive waste, but of cellular waste. Remember that. These are all keys before you can say, I've got diseases and I've got to go to medical doctors. You fix those 4 things, then those 4 stages will start reversing themselves backwards. Get your kidneys filtering, and you'll start backing up these 4 stages, and then you'll pull yourself out of all these, and you will be at Wellville. And then health, vitality, energetics, everything you can imagine, higher awareness to see things, higher ability to know things. You'll start knowing things that just come to you like that, and you go, oh, wow. The doors are opening for each and every one of you, and let it open. And don't hold on, just enjoy the ride. Just be and enjoy the ride like you're at a new adventure you've never been on, and have fun with that. I'm going to try. I'm kind of in between clients right now, so I'm going to try to get a bunch of your questions answered. And again, so much apologize. I'm slow at getting to them, but hang in there. Once we do all these videos, maybe we'll have it all covered there. So this is Jana. Hi, sweetheart. What is your opinion on caveman regimen for face? I never heard of that. I don't always hear of everything here. It's a no face wash for 1 month. It's supposed to heal skin from all diseases. These type of things, sweetheart, yeah, these type of things are out there. You can try that if you want. But the thing is, remember, the skin is an eliminative organ. And what are you supposed to eliminating out of the skin? Acids. And if you notice, if you don't clean the skin, it'll start getting red. Why? If you're eliminating. Why? Because these are acids. So to keep acids on the face would be like an acid peel. Some of you ladies know quite well what an acid peel is. And that's what gets me. These are the treatment-based thinkings that are insane. Why strip the skin off your face with acids when you can simply get inside of the body, clean it out, which cleans the skin internally? Remember, what you see on the skin is more of an internal problem than it is an external problem. Clean the skin if it's an external problem, but most of this is internal, right? And that's what you have to understand. You have to clean inside. And that's where these people miss this with caveman regimens and things like this. Nothing is better for you, because if you're having skin problems, that really shows a much bigger picture. So just letting the skin, not cleaning the skin for a month, and it'll cure all diseases, I think that sort of thing is like insane. And most of you healers now, most of you YouTubers that are learning the truth here, know that when you hear things like that, don't fall into these holes. And you cannot wash your face for a month and find out, but internally, you got to, when you understand you have a major systemic fluid problem, keeping your face dirty for a month, excuse me. So, I mean, you know, when you start to see these things, look at these things in context to what you know to be true. Body's just a bunch of cells and two major fluids. Know that the kidneys are the eliminative organs of cellular waste. The skin is the third kidney. Again, cellular waste. The bowels, digestive waste. So look at these things and know that we must clean up the eliminative organs, because that's what we've ruined with our diets. And because of these organs get hit by what you eat so bad, they also have a reflex back into the body and affect everything else, what the cells get. And then it just goes on and on and on. So by learning all that, it's simple, and reversing that, then you're at Wellville, baby. And that's what's important. I suggest scrubbing the skin good as opposed to leaving it dirty, myself. This is a rotting teeth. Melanie, again, apologize for being late on some of these things here. I wrote a very recent email asking about my sudden increase in cavities. They are confirmed cavities. Okay, so I want to bring something out that I think is important for those that are having teeth problems to understand. When you start going on a fruit diet, you don't see everybody decalcifying their teeth. That's not true. You go decalcify in an alkaline medium. That's why you always want to have your saliva alkaline. Some of these fruits are acidic because they're picked unripe. Their trees have been pumped with high nitrogen fertilizers, so that can be problematic. If you kept eating a lot of pineapples, all that acid could start leaching some calcium. But as a rule, we don't eat, primates don't eat those kind of fruits, if you take a look at that. I've always warned against eating acidic fruits that are picked unripe, and any fruit, berry, or melon picked unripe. But just because we have a society doing that does not make fruits, berries, and melons any less more powerful. These guys are the most powerful, nutritive, alive foods on the planet. And so, picked unripe, grown wrong, absolutely, especially in the States. Get down in the islands, and my God, you've got nectar of the gods in these places. You know, there's the countries that don't care, but America's one of them. They could care less about their dietary. Only you guys and those health people out there care about their diets. Thank God it's so many more than what it was. Farmers just got caught up with Monsanto thinking and all this, and this row of corn is this type of fertilizer. You know, we're going to experiment with this fertilizer. Just continually getting deeper into trouble, continually. And I blame the chemists. I blame these biochemists and chemists and their ridiculous thinking and things like that. You know, I don't know why we keep going in that direction, because we know we've lost the flavor of our foods. For what purpose? You have to have flavor to enjoy yourself, and eating is an enjoyment on this planet for many, and should be, we should definitely take care of our food sources. But I want to say that most of you that see cavities and things, these problems are already there. Your teeth are already being chewed on. Your gums are already being chewed on. Remember, when you start getting your body alkaline and hydrated and healthy, you're going to see weaknesses expose themselves. You can see abscesses coming up. Remember, I told you the one case of a pancreatic cancer case who in one of her healing crises, her teeth became loose. The dentist actually pulled one, because she didn't call me and tell me what was going on. So she went to the dentist, her tooth was loose, and she was starting to get another one loose, and they were going to pull that one. I said, no, you're in a healing crisis. And by the time that week was out, she had 7 abscesses and all her teeth were loose. And I said, push through this, keep going, push through this. And I washed her mouth out constantly with heel oil tea and kept pushing through this. In 2 weeks, all the abscesses were gone and her gums were locked back down on those teeth again, like she'd never had it before. And that's the point. Sometimes you go through a little more hellville to get to Wellville. And you just got to remember what detox is all about. Our whole society has to learn what detox is about. And there's one group of people going to teach them. And that's you guys. You are going to be the most learned, the most knowledgeable in detoxification and the art of detoxification that's on the planet. Because so far what I see out there, the people doing it is kind of like that. So you guys are really doing well, and I'm real proud of you. I then thought, well, I'm still very acidic. These acids are definitely in my head. Absolutely, sweetheart. And look at your eyes. I tell you, the best tool we have, and that's why I want to get you guys excited about iridology. What a tool. What a tool. And we'll go over some more eyes here. But we've done enough videos to really get an insight for you. And I've told Chris, if the YouTube took down those iris videos, get them back up on the Bimini and our own site, because that's a great tool to see what's going on in the head lymphatically and acids and things like that. Symptoms, of course, is right in your face, literally, but you got it right on with the acids. Then I watched your show today about the lady with cankers and mouth sores and how the fruit in an acidic condition. I keep getting cold sores. Yeah, your mouth is way too acidic. So use pH papers and check it. If you're eating fruit and your mouth stays acidic, then eat something that alkalizes it. Eat a banana or something that'll eat some dark grapes, things that'll alkalize the mouth. You know, dark grapes, very alkalizing to the saliva. But if your saliva is acidic, that's why you're losing your teeth and things. It's one thing to have a little acid fruit, but you should maintain an alkalinity in the mouth, because it's as much directed interstitially, meaning around the cells in the mouth lymphatically, as it is what you're chewing in the mouth. So you got to realize that too. You're not just talking about the acid nature of what you're eating, you're talking about the nature of the lymph system in the gums, that affect the teeth. Remember, even the teeth are cells. There's got to be a pathway everywhere for waste to be eliminated. No place anywhere can waste stay in the human body because they're acidic. And that's not how the body's designed. The body's designed to remove waste even out of bone. And that's essential, or you'll lose the bone. Anytime you see that not happening, we generally call that either osteopenia, osteoporosis, or then bone cancers. And it's just not only is it the loss of calcium, but the over-acidification of bone tissue. Same thing, it's tissue. So that's what we have to look at. I think I keep detoxing, thinking, heal my tea, yummy, and all that keep going downhill. The sicker I am, the more I actually feel rebellious and want to eat like everyone else I know. My mother keeps saying I should have surgery again because this diet isn't working for you. I explain patiently to her, but people's remarks, ignorance hurt, and they do. I know they do. People's remarks definitely can hurt a person, and I tell you, you guys get strong, because you're the few people on the planet that know what it is to go to Wellville, and it can be Hellville getting to Wellville. I'm telling you, I mean, when you look at the human body and what we're up against, all the flood problems and all that, I tell you, you younger guys and gals, my God, you guys are up against so much. I apologize for my generation not helping you even more, and my parents' generation for not helping the genetic stance of things anymore. Allopathy has kept this so much in ignorance. Remember, we were jailed. The states have come after us. You know, anytime truth tries to raise its head, it tries to be quashed, and that's where we have to turn around and be strong, and no more quashing. It's time for us to do some quashing. So we must generate that God power, that God consciousness. And sometimes that is not a Gandhi force. Detoxifying is very isolating, and one is already struggling and misunderstood when the health is bad. And this is true. This is very true. Check your glands, though, because the more that the thyroid and parathyroid is down, the more you're going to feel isolated that way. But I want you to take, sweetheart, that isolation, and I want you to get into it. I want you to realize that that alone exists. and that you are always alone. You will always be alone, no matter whether you're sitting in a room full of people, no matter whether you're sitting with your husband or brother or sister or kids. You're always alone. The only reason you don't realize that is your attention is being occupied by your viewing and your acceptance of that energy force, whether it's a male, female, kids, dogs, whatever. You're aligning yourself with your creation, and that's you. Your creation is you. No, it isn't. It is, but it isn't. You're the only thing that survives beyond this world. And that is you as consciousness, not as you as the human body. That's obvious. So you should use that isolation time to get into the self, because that's when the journey gets interesting, because you can only find God through yourself. You can't find God you can walk miles, you can sit under trees like Buddhas, you can do whatever you want, but you'll never find God anywhere, and yet you'll find it everywhere. So it's understanding what that meant. And that the only way you're going to know is go within yourself, accept yourself, love yourself, spend time alone. Say, I'm not so bad. I don't need to have a bunch of other people around me to be happy. I can be happy myself. And your happiness is directly related to your freedom. The more free you become from creation, the happier you get. You'll become like little kids, always happy and playing and have fun. Remember the movie Michael? Came down, took on a body, and had fun. Played with the bulls, played with the judges, had fun. And that's what we have to do. When we achieve that, then isolation, there is no isolation, because everything is already isolated. Everything is an individual. Put all the individual aspects of creation together, plants, animals, humans, all of this. Put all this together, and what you got? God. So, don't be alone, sweetheart. Enjoy that time. You want to always enjoy your time. You know other people don't understand. You become the wise one. You know what you're doing. But if you're having trouble, maybe you're eating too many acidic fruits, and that's some of the problems. So go to the more alkalizing fruits. The subacid fruits are much more alkalizing, of course. The sweet fruits are more alkalizing. The green drinks are more alkalizing. So play with that. Get pH papers. Make sure your mouth is always alkaline. But even after acidic fruits, even after alkaline fruits, give a few hours and recheck your saliva and check and see that you don't go back to being acid. Because remember, you're going to see more problems with the teeth, not just with the eating of the acid, but the acid nature interstitially. Interstitial means around the cells. Interstitial. And interstitial, there's fluids. There's no voids, fluids. And that fluid has to be base. If it's not base or alkaline, then those acids are going to take the toll. They're going to ignite inflammation. You're going to see pus, and you're going to see all the lymph acidosis that we call infection. And you're going to have bacteria helping you to try to get rid of it. So once we understand the laws and the way nature works, then we don't have to get so upset. We don't have to get weirded out or freaked out and full of fear. We know where we want to go. So keep as alkaline as possible, dear, and enjoy your time alone. Who cares what anybody else thinks? It's your world. And some women, you're all beautiful caregivers. Man has to understand the power and what the female principle is. I mean, without the female principle, there is no creation. That female is the key to everything. And so all you females, you should enjoy the beauty of who you are. But you're caregivers, and you're love. You're the love. But I've always said the female principle is the love glue that binds the universes. So there's a point where that personal love has to become divine love. And because too much personal love will isolate you and create less freedom. Divine love means that you love everything. You don't always have to like everything, but you have to love everything because you know it's all a piece of God experiencing itself in duality. Just like you creating a bunch of characters for yourself. One minute you'll play this, and an actor. You know, one minute you play this role, one minute you play that. Many actors have been asked, do you know who you are anymore? Have you ever forgot who you are playing all these different roles? And that's basically what we all have done. We have forgot who we are by playing all these different roles. I'm a carpenter, I'm a lawyer, I'm an IRS agent. I'm all these people. No, you're not. You're the soul. That consciousness, that individual spark or consciousness that God got, here, a little piece of me over there, a little piece of me over there. And that is the divine that you are. And so always accept that, you know, and fight that negative tendency. Admittingly, when the endocrine glands are down, particularly the thyroid and parathyroid, your feeling of self-worth, of self-love is down. Remember, one of the symptoms of parathyroid weakness is depression. And that's because you lose calcium. So depression. Postpartum depression. A lot of women feel guilty over postpartum depression. It has nothing to do with children. It has everything to do with the loss of calcium from your having children, but nothing about the children. I see all levels of thinkers out there. Sometimes it's hard to believe this work will work. That's why your shows are so, oh, thanks, sweetheart. Listen, Melanie, if you need help, you know, you plug in and call in here and get Jen B or somebody, and maybe you're doing something that's not what you need. Maybe you need a little deeper. Maybe you need to pull back and have more balance. But use those pH papers, honey. Check your saliva and all that stuff. Check your urine. You want a little acidic urine, about 6, 6.5. The saliva, you definitely want above 7. Or you're going to lose your teeth. And your gums are going to recede. But the same things going on in your brain, the same things going on in your liver, the same things going on in the wall of the GI tract, the same things going on in your heart, the same things going on in the prostate or uterus or ovaries. See what I'm saying? That's the problem. Not just the teeth. And by the time it's up here, you've got this whole esophagus area that's involved. And now you're seeing all these people popping all these tumors off the side of the necks. So thanks, sweetheart, and hang in there. And if there's any help we can be of you, we do. Or get into the Facebook and talk to the Facebook people. Those guys are butt kickers. Here's another one. Fruit is rotting my teeth. Oh, this is Melanie Miles. Same one, sweetheart. So dig in there. Make sure you're checking your, let's see, I have cleavers, comfrey, plantain, horsetail, and other herbs growing abundantly. Whoa, look at that. I juice them, blend them. Oh, man, this girl's on top, baby. Look at this. Comfrey. Cleavers, of course, all the kidney. Comfrey, knit bone, of course, plantain. Man, if you get a recluse or black widow spider bite, you find plantain or any of the lymphatic herbs. That'll pull those poisons right out. You don't need snake venom. You need these herbs. Remember the mongoose and plantain and the cobra? So you really want to find plantain is one. I have it in the bowel. I have it in a lot of formulas because it's for poisons. It pulls. It's lymphatic. It's for acids. And so, yeah, poison, good herbs, man. Horsetail, another high silica, high calcium herb. Good for bones and things like this. Also good for the kidneys and stuff. So you got some pretty good herbs here. And other herbs, that's fantastic. And she's doing them just right. I have so many questions and a lot to say. You might want to make an appointment, sweetheart, make you a list and send them to me and let us talk over the phone that way. Because there's so much to learn and so much to have fun with. Synthroid, no way, Jose. Again, you can use glandulars in place of synthetics. And your medical doctor should be excited that there is glandulars. And your medical doctor should be using glandulars. This is old. This has been around so long that please, instead of using hormones and steroids, we know what that does to humans. We need to get to the glandulars. So all you medical doctors, take on these high-quality New Zealand glandulars. Start working with your patients at another level, and you'll get some hugs instead of some kisses, you know, and you won't hurt your people by lowering their thyroid function, and you know you're going to do that. So I recommend using glandulars and titrating off of your steroids and hormones. You always should have your medical doctor help you if you want. If not, take full responsibility for your own actions, as that should be. Now, let's see what else she's got going on here. Using calcium from, well, that might be true there. You might have a parathyroid weakness too there, Melanie, and take a look at that too. Look at your fingernails and everything else. Look at see if you have any spider veins, varicose veins. You bruise easy. You have a little depression. That would be parathyroid. So parathyroid, you always want to make sure that's up. And if it's not up, what's suppressing it? Are you lymphatically congested in that area and in those tissues? Or is the pituitary that controls these two, is the pituitary down from high sinus congestion, high lymph stagnation in the brain, or genetics? Or remember, head, transverse colon. Just remember, we learned so much with iridology. Head, transverse colon. So whenever you're having problems up here, fix everything down below it because it sits on top of everything. See? And so when you clean all that out and you clean all those pathways of lymph flows, clean the lymph nodes and get all those pathways clean, woo-wee, everything starts turning around on you. You might want to go with a more alkaline fruit like grapes and do some serious fasting. Make sure your kidneys are filtering. Remember that? Check the filtration. Check the filtration of the kidneys. I love this chart. It's a beautiful, and these are the tools. You guys are just, bar none, the top greats on the planet, and we're making a big difference. No matter, I know you guys are struggling, some of you, but there's so much difference you're making. I just talked to Romania yesterday, a beautiful medical doctor, homeopathic physician. I've talked with her, I've had emails from her before, and she just, it just opens all the doors. And this beautiful soul is working with a lot of people and working on herself, and that's what we need to do, all work together, because at this level we know you can get remedy. It's just how long, how fast, how deep is the problems, things like that. And the eyes, that's our tools. The eye is a beautiful roadmap of the internal condition of your body. Genetic weaknesses of cells, the lymphatic system. Are we lacking cholesterol? Am I malabsorbed? Is it a pituitary problem affecting parathyroid and thyroid? Or is my pituitary not allowing my menses to be on time and regular as a female? Is my pituitary making me too short or too tall? Those sort of things. Is my pituitary creating vitiligo? All these things, you can return all your cells back to a state of health. You've got to go back and reverse how they got that way in the beginning, whether it was 1,000 years ago in genetics or not. And you always go through the lymphatic system because that starts the true interstitial hydration. Blood is always hydrated to a certain point, because when it's not, you're dead. So remember that the lymph plays a major role in the hydration of the human body, because there has to be a way to remove acids from cellular waste. Most cellular waste, remember, are acids. And how many cells do we have? Well, it's been guesstimated at 100 trillion now. Well, 80 to 100 trillion cells in the human body, every one a pooper. That's 100 trillion little poopers. That'd be like a nursery with 100 trillion kids, which I couldn't even conceive that, eliminating waste. How would you get those wastes out of the body? And when you understand that, you're going, wow, no wonder it takes a while to get well. But you're all doing such a beautiful job. Don't ever get discouraged. If you do, let me come give you a big hug. You got a big family here. You got a big family on all these Facebooks. We all love everybody, and that's why we need to keep it. We need to be a powerful force for God or conscience, whatever you call it. Doesn't matter if you use that word. For love and joy and happiness. Those are good words. I'm going to have to pull off of here a little bit. Let me just do one more. This is X-linked ichthyosis. I don't know. I was going to have them look that up. I've heard of that before, but I forgot what the hell is that. So what is it? Which is caused by deletions or mutations in the STS gene. Oh my God. All I can say is that genes are always going to be mutated, and why don't you guys mutate them back? Because that's just what you're doing. Sometimes when you fall into these mutated gene syndromes, you got to also take in consideration acidosis and the lymph system, and take a look at that side of it first. So I'll do more research on this, and I'll get back with you on that one, because I want to know what they're even thinking about when they think about this. He was born with a very rare deficiency called X-linked ichthyosis, which is caused by, this leaves the skin very dry and scaly. Oh my God. I mean, you got to realize, you got to read through that, man. You know, you do. You got to read through that. There isn't a gene deficiency that creates dry skin and itchy skin. Excuse me? That's a fluid problem along with a candida problem. You're full of candida, man. You're full of lymph. You clean the body out. Don't let that be scary to you, because that's a bunch of crap. That's not true at all. These are fluid problems on the cells. You want to see a cell problem with the skin, look at basal cell or squamous cell. Start looking at that level. Wintertime is a nightmare if not treated with lotion. See, and this is the problem. Your body is aching to breathe. And so once you get you're going to tell right now your kidneys aren't filtering well for yourself. So get your kidneys filtering well, get your adrenals up, and get your skin clean. Get yourself sweating. If you're not sweating, get your thyroid up, and so you can get enough body temperature to sweat. Get yourself sweat. Don't do the opposite. Start promoting elimination instead of suppression. Lotions are just suppressing. You would never want to use anything on the skin but maybe coconut oil, something that's nutritive, because we have some Amish cream that it's all fruits and berries and stuff. Nutritive stuff. Use nutritive stuff, because what you put on your skin, you're eating. So you don't want lotions. You don't want things like this. This lady mentioned comfrey. The great herb, but you're not going to correct the dryness like this. This is acidosis, dehydrating you. That's not a gene problem. So you really got to look at that. I'm surprised that anybody would go out saying X-linked. Oh my God. I mean, this is kind of insane. I'll show you how to get that dry skin and itchy skin gone out of there. Get your body detox, get your kidneys filtering, and I'll show you. But also get yourself sweating. Wintertime is so bad because you're not sweating. Cold drives in. So that's the problem. It locks you. Heat, and that's why tropical zones are perfect for humans, because we do sweat. Northern climates are great for omnivores. They don't sweat as much. We sweat. Notice how dogs sweat out of the nose, not out of the skin. So we need those subtropical and tropical regions. So that's what I'm saying. Get yourself a steam sauna and get some essential oils and open yourself up. Dry skin brush. Get your lymph system going, because this shows skin subcutaneous suppression or you're backed up in the subcutaneous tissues. Summertime allows the skin to heal. Why? Elimination, man. Will any of your products work to reverse this? Absolutely. My brother and my nephew have the same problem. Well, you know, the same sad thing here, Gabby, is go in deeper and take a look under that skin and see what you look like. I would probably get my eyes, look at my eyes and see if you have a dark skin ring. You can have two things going on. You could have cell weaknesses of the skin. That wouldn't create a dryness or anything, but that would create a weak skin. That could also create a loose skin. But I tell you, clean the skin. Get your kidneys filtering, because that's your connection to the skin. Remember, the skin is considered the third kidney. Work on the other two kidneys. Get filtration accomplished. Get yourself sweating, and all those doors will open up, and that'll all go away. If not, it has the potential to get so much worse. Ask all these people here with psoriasis or eczema or the like. Yeah, Katrina, I don't know what the heck you got out of you. That's pretty good, though. I don't know. Did anybody see that? Is that a strange little, I don't know what she got out of her. That's weird. It was a worm of some sort, I think. Yeah, come on in. Now, come on in, sweetheart. I'm going to come up. I've got to run, guys, so... hang tight. Get yourself to Wellville. We're here to help and walk with you guys. Don't feel like you're alone out there, because you're not alone out there. We got a beautiful staff here. You've got all the great YouTube people, all the Facebook people. We've got a great group, and I want to keep it great. We want to walk together, and we want to uplift the consciousness of this planet. So take that time alone. Do not sit there and fear being alone. Get that time and take advantage of that time, and you'll learn to enjoy the aloneness, because that's when you're the closest to all things. Deep within yourself is when you meet me and everyone else. Keep watching your dreams, because that's where we're going to find each other. All right, so y'all, we love you very much. You have a fun day, and see you later. Well, Bill.